Hello beautiful besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel and welcome to the very first day of Bookmas. Happy December, happy Bookmas. I am so excited for this month. I absolutely love Bookmas. Making end of year content is so much fun and I really love looking back at my reading year and then also looking at the year ahead. And that is exactly what we're going to be doing today. So my very first video of Bookmas is going to be my most anticipated releases for 2024. I really like starting with this video for Bookmas just because I think it's so excited to kind of kick things off talking about the year ahead and what I'm really looking forward to and what I think you guys should be looking forward to as well. So I do want to say I have about 11 books that I'm going to talk about, but I know that there are so many more. These are just books that have really caught my eye, that I've been thinking about, that I know that I for sure want to pick up in 2024, but I'm sure I'm gonna miss some. So let me know down below, particularly any fantasy romances that you guys are really looking forward to that I may have not talked about here on this list. But yeah, these are the ones that I've just like really been thinking about. I have a little notes app on my phone. I also have a little notebook here that I'm going to be looking at, and I've just been kind of keeping track as the year has been going on of announcements of new releases that I'm really looking forward to, and yeah, I'm going to share them with you all today. So let's get straight into it. Okay, so obviously number one, the very first book that we're going to be talking about and my most anticipated book of 2024 and probably of my life is Crescent City 3 House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. We did it, guys. We finally made it. We are so close. I mean, we haven't made it yet, but I put this book on my most anticipated releases for 2023 last year when I made this video. The delusion, right? Like, I was just being so hopeful. I was like, I'm gonna manifest this. I'm gonna say that it's coming out in 2023, and it absolutely did not. Sarah Janet made us wait 2 years for this book, but I trust her. I know the book is going to be amazing. This book is coming out on January 30th, and I will not be okay. I cannot wait to read this book. I am taking work off on this day. It's also like 2 days before my birthday, so it's gonna be like such a great week. I don't even know what to say. I'm just so excited, so happy. You guys know, like, I never shut up about this book. I think about this book every single day, not an exaggeration. I cannot wait for this book to come out. It is going to be epic. It is going to be insane, and I cannot wait to see how everything just plays out. I don't know. I have so many theories. I know everyone else has so many theories. I'm theoried out at this point. I am just ready to have this book in my hands. I believe it is a little bit over 900 pages, so it's gonna be long and epic and crazy like Kingdom of Ash. I don't know. I cannot wait for this book to come out. Literally just like, I will not be okay after I finish that book. I really, really won't. But obviously, yeah, House of Flame and Shadow is my number one most anticipated read of the year. We could end the video here, honestly, because nothing else compares to my anticipation, I have to say. I'm very much looking forward to all of these other books, but there is nothing like House of Flame and Shadow for me. So that is my number one most anticipated read of the year. Next up is Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. This is the 5th book in the Magnolia Parks universe series, but it is the 3rd book in Magnolia and BJ's POV. So not only is this the 3rd book in their POV, but it is their finale. It is the finale of their storyline, which I'm very excited about. I'm very nervous, but I absolutely love Jessa Hastings' writing. I fell in love with these characters last year, and I love this world that she created, and I just think that their angsty, on-again, off-again romance is just so much fun to read about, and I love them so much. The writing really, really gripped me right away, and I just know that Into the Dark is going to be a fantastic book. So I'm really excited about this, and I really hope that Magnolia and BJ have a happily ever after. Another book that I'm highly anticipating for next year is Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Ali Hazelwood is dipping her toes into paranormal romance. I am so excited. When she announced this, I was completely shocked because she has, up until this point, mainly just done STEM contemporary romance novels, which I have enjoyed, but it's really fun to see her kind of pivot and do something a little bit different. So the only thing that I know about this book is we have a vampire female main character and an alpha werewolf for our male main character, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think Ali Hazelwood does have a very like fun and light writing style that I do tend to enjoy, and I think that this is gonna be really cool. I think that she's gonna pull off the paranormal romance very well, and I'm just really excited to get something a little bit different from her, and also for her to write in a subgenre that interests me a little more because I am a fantasy and paranormal romance girl through and through. The next book is A Promise of Peridot by Kate Golden. So this is the 2nd book in, I think it's called the Sacred Stones series, but the 1st book is A Dawn of Onyx, which I think most people will recognize, and I read that, I want to say very early this year or like end of last year, and I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. So this is a new adult fantasy romance series, and in the 1st book, our main character was kidnapped and taken into an enemy kingdom, and while she is there, she meets a very dark, mysterious man who kind of teaches her that maybe what she thought about this kingdom is a lie, there might be some propaganda happening back at her kingdom, and who she thought was evil might not be accurate. The ending was really wild and really crazy, and I think it's going to open up the series so much more into way more world building, way more plot lines, all of that, and I'm really looking forward forward to it. I really did enjoy book one. This book did move from being indie published to traditionally published, so we did have to wait for the second book. I do believe it was supposed to come out this last summer, but because it's being traditionally published, it will now be coming out in April, but I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be well worth the wait. Okay, so probably my most anticipated contemporary romance that is coming out in 2024 thus far is Wild Love by Elsie Silver. Elsie Silver is starting a new series. I am so excited. The Chestnut Springs series is my favorite contemporary romance series of all time. I love it to death. Heartless changed me. I am a different woman because of that book, and I was so sad when the Chestnut Springs series ended in October, but very excited that Elsie Silver quickly announced that she is already working on her next series. So the first book is going to be called Wild Love, and the male main character is actually the brother of Willa, who is the female main character in Heartless. I am very excited. I do think we'll probably get a few cameos from the Chestnut Springs gang, and I don't really know any of the tropes for Wild Love, but I don't care. I trust Elsie. I have loved 99% of her books. I do know that our male main character is a billionaire, which is always fun. We love a billionaire romance, so I cannot wait for that book. That is going to be one that I pick up immediately on release day, and I'm really excited to see what Elsie's going to do with this new series. The next book I have on my list of anticipated reads for 2024 is A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. This is a new fantasy romance by this author. I have read one book by her, and it was The Bridge Kingdom. It was okay. It wasn't fantastic. I have read many more and much better fantasy romances than that, but it was all right. And I don't know, when I have like a so-so experience with an author, I'm always curious what a new series from them will be like, because I've definitely had experiences with authors where one book is okay, but then they come out with something new and I absolutely love it. So I'm really excited by this. I have to say the cover really got me. It is a Norse mythology inspired fantasy romance, and I think it's gonna be really good. The early reviews have been very great, and so I'm excited about that. I want to give this author another shot, and I hope that I will really love this one. Okay, so the next two books are both by S.T. Gibson. S.T. Gibson is coming out with An Education in Malice on February 15th and then Evocation on May 28th. I am having such a hard time like keeping the differences between these books straight, but I believe that they are both queer stories. I believe that they have dark academia vibes. I think we might have a vampire in one, if not both of them, and all three of those things just make me so excited to read from S.T. Gibson. A Dowry of Blood is one of my favorite books of all time. It is so beautiful, and ever since reading that, I have always been waiting and hoping for something else from this author. So we are getting two books, so let me look at the differences between these books. So An Education in Malice is actually a companion novel to A Dowry of Blood. It is a sapphic, dark academia, rivals to lovers, Carmilla reimagining. That sounds literally perfect. I'm so excited for that. Also, these covers are absolutely stunning. I have a feeling that this will be on my best books of the year because A Dowry of Blood is like, oh god, that book is so incredible. And then Evocation. So the tropes that S.T. Gibson listed were soapy secret society drama, exes to rivals to lovers, forced proximity, polyamory, morally gray, lapsed Catholics, and magic lessons. Okay, I am intrigued. I think that Evocation is the start of a new series, and then An Education in Malice is just a standalone book. I am so excited for both though. I cannot wait. S.T. Gibson is a genius. I cannot wait to see what else we get from her. Okay, so the next book is The Wraith King by Juliet Cross. I have never read a book by Juliet Cross, but I saw this cover and I was like, it's over. This is one of my most anticipated reads of 2024 now because the cover is absolutely stunning and the synopsis sounds just as stunning. This is an adult fae fantasy romance. Already we're doing great. Our main character is a princess and she learns that the price of the Wraith King demands to end the war once and for all. In exchange for the safety of her people, she agrees to give her life and her body to her greatest enemy, but she isn't prepared for what awaits her in this palace of black glass where she was once held prisoner as a girl. So I think we're gonna have a bit of like a dark fae fantasy romance. I'm so there, you guys. This sounds really, really good. And I know that the author did recently push back the release date. Originally it was going to come out in January, but it's now coming out in September because the author says that she wants to just have more time to work on it. I respect authors so much who do that. Like, if you need to work on this book more, don't force the book to come out at a certain time. Definitely, I'm disappointed that it's not coming out in January, but I am even more excited that I know that this author is just taking so much time and care to release this book. So I am so excited. I really hope I like it. In the meantime, I am gonna pick up a couple of Juliet Cross books. I do have Wolf Gone Wild, which is a paranormal romance series. I think it's a bunch of like interconnected standalones that I've heard really good things about. So I'm really excited for this book. All right, the next book that I am anticipating coming out in 2024 is the 9th and hopefully final Zodiac Academy book. I have been waiting for the actual final book of the series to come out for quite a while. I read books 1 through 7 in 2022, and then book 8 was going to come out and that was supposed to be the finale, but then the authors extended the series again. So I decided, you know what? I'm gonna wait for the series to actually be over 2024, and then I will pick up the rest of the books. So I am honestly very excited to see how the series ends. If you have watched my Zodiac Academy reading vlog, you know that as the series went on, I was growing a bit more frustrated with the storylines, with the characters, with how things were wrapping up. And while I do definitely stand by that, and I do worry about how books 8 and 9 are gonna go, I am still really looking forward to how this series wraps up. I loved these characters. I absolutely fell in love with them as I was reading each book. And while the series is chaotic and funny and just all over the place at times, I really did form a connection to them. So I cannot wait to see how this story ends. I think that when it comes out, I'll do some type of reading vlog where I will read books 8 and 9 and give you my final thoughts on the series. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to getting back into the Zodiac Academy world. I have not touched those books since I finished them in like May of 2022. So it's been a while and I'm looking forward to seeing how this series wraps up. All right, the next book on my most anticipated releases of 2024 is Funny Story by Emily Henry. You know that if you've been here for a while, the last 2 Emily Henry releases I did not enjoy. I gave Book Lovers 2 stars, and I think I gave Happy Place 2 stars as well, but I keep coming back, you guys. I'm like a dog with a bone. And the reason is because I love Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. They are some of my favorite romances of all time. At one time, People We Meet on Vacation was my #1 favorite romance. And so because of that, I just keep wanting to experience that magic again with Emily Henry's writing. It has not happened with the last few books by her, but I'm holding out hope. I'm going in with optimism. I am an optimistic little bitch, as always. And I'm really hoping that Funny Story is gonna work. I do like the premise of this one. Our main character ends up falling for her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex. That's very messy and confusing, and I'm here for it. I love mess in romance. So I don't know, we're gonna see how this goes. I wanna give it a shot. I do think that Emily Henry has very pretty writing style, but I just find that sometimes her romances, 1, don't really feel like a romance, or 2, just really don't work for me. So all that being said, I'm going in open-minded, optimistic. I want to give Funny Story a shot. I do like the idea of this book, and we'll see what happens. All right, my loves, so those are all of my confirmed 2024 releases that I'm looking forward to. I know there's more. I know I missed some. Please let me know in the comments down below. What are you looking forward to? Are they the same books as me, or are there others that you're like, Rachel, you totally forgot about this? You should be anticipating this. I just know that there's so many books coming out and it's so hard to keep track, but these are the books that I'm like 100% positive are coming out and that I do want to pick up. So definitely let me know if I missed any. I'm sure I did. There's also probably books by like some of my favorite authors that are coming out next year that just haven't been released yet. Like if Sally Rooney comes out with a book, that is like my most anticipated release. If R.F. Kuang comes out with a book, same thing. So maybe midway through 2024, I will do another one of these videos and talk about books that are coming out in the latter half of the year, because I don't know, I just feel really good about 2024. I feel like we have so many fantastic releases coming, particularly for the Fanro besties. I feel like it's gonna be our year. I really do. Like, I just think there are so many amazing fantasy romances that are either getting sequels, new series are getting started by some really fantastic authors, and I cannot wait to read them all. So if you made it to this point in the video and you wanted to let me know, go ahead and leave the firework emoji, like just something that represents like the new year as we are going into 2024, and we will hopefully have a ton of new releases to obsess over. Please make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Goodreads. They are always linked down below. I really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.